Yeah. What's up, Math Scholars? We are doing a video this morning. We are on shortened air test schedule, so 30 minutes. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll finish no troubles. So number 13, we're going to solve for theta if cosine theta is 0.34, but then wait. We'll need to make sure theta is living between 270 and 360.
Whoa.
I guarantee the answer the calculator gives us won't be in that quadrant. Normally the calculator only gives you answers in quadrant 1 or 2. So we'll have to do some reflecting. Speaking of the calculator, what will we type in to solve for theta? If cosine theta is 0.34, how can I get theta? Somebody in here knows. What did Madison say?
I don't know if it's just cosine of negative 1.
Yeah, cosine -1, but she's going to sound like a scholar and she's going to say cosine inverse. Cosine inverse, 0.34. And as predicted, the calculator gave us 70 degrees, which is in quadrant 1. Ugh, that's not the quadrant we want our answer in. We want our quadrant between 270 and 360. So you kind of use a reference angle type skill. You know this is 70 degrees. You know you're going to flip down to quadrant 4. So you use a reference angle of 70 degrees to figure out where that one lives. Where would that one live? 290, good, because 360 minus 70 is 290. So 290 is your final solution. Alrighty, so what's our strategy? Sine, cosine, tangent, law of sines, or law of cosines? Oh gosh, well it would be law of cosines, but I didn't read the prompt. Find the area. Hee it's an area formula. We need one of our area formulas actually. And the area formulas are this one if you know 2 sides and 1 angle, or this one if you know all 3 sides. So I think we need the one with the angle. So I'm going to write it up here for the people in the video. We're using the one that's on the board where you know 2 of the sides and you know 1 of the angles. So it's kind of like if you want your picture to be labeled appropriately to work with this formula, you should probably label this your large A, and that would make these sides your little b and your little c. It doesn't matter which one's which. Okay. That was just a lesson, students, on reading the prompt. Alright, so that's our area formula. Let me grab my calculator. And it would be a good idea before the test to make sure whatever calculator you're using is in the right mode. Just in case you've been, like, you're borrowing somebody's or yours has been at home and you've been using mine. Did you guys get 64.01?
Yeah.
And it's an area, so go with units squared. Alright, so we got this little diagram. It says points A and B are on opposite sides of the building. A surveyor chooses a third point C, 50 yards from point A, 32 yards from point B, with angle ACB measuring 98. So they've already drawn the diagram. That's kind of nice. We need to find how far apart points A and B are. So it's already labeled. Are you thinking sine, cosine, tangent, law of sines, or law of cosines? Law of cosines, because there's no complete partners. Now, if you want this diagram to go with this formula, big angle C needs to be the angle you're working with. So we're labeled appropriately. We don't need to relabel anything. I'll go ahead and put the formula here for my viewers on YouTube. But this will be on your formula sheet that I'll be providing you with on Thursday. All right, little c looks like the side we're solving for, so I'll just call that x. Little a would probably be over here, be the 32. Little b would be over here, so it would be the 50. And then what's cool about this formula is you end up using the 32 and the 50 again. And then cosine 98. So this is the easier type of the 2 different types of law of cosines problems. When you're solving for the side, you can plug in all this stuff at one time. We get a pretty big number, you'll square root it at the end.
Square root. Who's wearing cologne?
We're live on the internet.
I think it's rude.
Did you guys get 3969.35? And then I just square root this previous answer. And then I got 63. So let me know if that matches what you got. And it's in yards. That's a distance in yards. You did get that? Okay, good. I don't want to leave it on the video. All right, we have a non-right triangle here. Non-right triangle. I heard Logan say, we have a complete set, and then I heard him say, no, we don't. Why did you say, no, we don't? I see a complete set.
I do.
Yeah, the 65 and the 22. So right off the bat, I'm seeing that I can partner the 65 with the 22. This might be why he said, no, we don't. We don't know this one right here where I just put the question mark, but we can find it quickly. We know there's 180 degrees in every triangle.
Welcome back to my dumbness game.
So what's that mean question mark angle has to be?
Numbers.
Anybody know what question mark has to be? 100. So we're going to partner the 100 with the X.
Dan's going to the horticulture thing to buy some plants.
Crisscross applesauce time. 22 times sine 100 divided by sine 65. 23.9. Alrighty, we've arrived at a doozy here. Do you see any complete sets of partnerships?
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't.
No.
Yeah, we don't have complete partnerships. We don't know any of the angles. So this law of cosines, and if you want it to be compatible with this law of cosines formula that I have up on the board, you're going to have to label your big C appropriately. Now, there are two other versions of law of cosines on your formula sheet, so if you label it differently, that I guess you'd be okay. But I'm going to label big C up here where X is, making the 10 my little c, and then little a and b don't really matter. So this is the one where your variable is going to be embedded on the right, so you have to follow the correct steps to solving for large C. So the little c is going to be the 10, little a is the 11, little b is the 15. Now the 11 and the 15 reappear. Cosine C. And I'll let you catch up how we do with our labeling. All right, don't get too crazy with typing this stuff in. You can only do bits and pieces. You can do these two together, and you can do these three together, but you can't do all 5 of those numbers together. 10 squared is obviously 100. Let's see what 11 squared plus 15 squared is. 346. Let's see what 2 times 11 times 15 is. 330. And 330 is attached to the cosine C. So what you don't want to do is do 346 minus 330. That would be an illegal math move. You'd be headed to math jail. Don't want to go to math jail. You got to do math problems there all
I'm
day.
in math class.
So now what? Who knows what I'm going to do? I'm trying to isolate C. Perfect. Zoe remembered. You're going to move the 346 by subtracting it over. 100 minus 346 is negative 246. Now here's where people lose their puppy. See that 330? It's negative 330. Don't lose the negative sign. Who knows what has to happen next? Logan, where's your study guide?
I don't know what my study guide is.
Oh boy. All right, let's move this negative 330 by dividing at this point. And that's when it's going to be what cosine C equals. So probably be a little tiny, cute little decimal. It's 0.745454544. There's lots of 4s and 5s. But when you do the cosine inverse, which has to be your last step, do second cosine, second answer button. So that whole string of decimals will go in. We found last week if you round off this number and you don't put the whole string in, you could be up to 4 degrees off. So you're going to do cosine inverse of the previous solution. And it's 41.8, so 42 degrees.
What does